Hi. I'm Kang. And sorry, I've been running for like 20 minutes from the circle. And like 50 snipers. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna take a break. Just a quick rest. I'm not camping, just a quick break.
Back in 2017, PUBG was a gaming juggernaut, kickstarting the Battle Royale craze that still sorta exists to this day. Everybody was playing it. Gamers, streamers, bots, even hackers. And I think they still play it. PUBG was huge. So huge, in fact, that it currently sits on number 5 of the best-selling games of all time. That is an achievement right there. Things were looking up for PUBG in 2017, so let's look at it today. PUBG has fallen off, unsurprisingly. It's gone through the life cycle that every craze goes through, i.e. birth, become popular, become a worldwide phenomenon, try to milk as much money as humanly possible, death, and finally desperately attempt to become relevant again. That attempt is this. I'm being harsh, and if we're being realistic, PUBG is still incredibly popular. Hell, it's consistently on the top of the Steam charts, but to claim that it's still as popular as it was back in 2017 would be a lie, and you're gonna go to hell for lying. The game has been trumped by practically all of its competition. Apex and Warzone both ended it, and Fortnite shit on it so bad that they attempted to sue and got laughed at by the entire internet and legal system. So here we are in 2022 with Bluehole firing off its final shot to attempt to reclaim the Battle Royale throne. So how does the game hold up after all these years? Well, let's go ask Kang, who's playing it right now. Compared to every other popular Battle Royale on the market, PUBG has aged like a 104-year-old man that just got their kneecap shot off by a shotgun. And to put that into caveman terms, PUBG is fucking boring! It follows your standard Battle Royale affair with 3 game modes, squads, duos, and solos, and once again, like every other Battle Royale, you start the match by jumping out of a plane and landing at your location to begin looting. And this is not a complaint, this is just how the Battle Royale formula works. But the thing about PUBG is the looting process, which is the most boring process, never fucking ends. I know I'm comparing this game to a lot of other, and in my opinion, better Battle Royales, but do you blame me? They're in the same genre after all. So in every other Battle Royale, the looting process takes about 2 to 5 minutes depending on where you land. If you hot drop, you get into fights instantly. If you don't, you can loot a bit, get your bearings, and then head to the circle to encounter some fights. In PUBG, if you don't hot drop, you loot for 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then the circle starts closing. But don't worry, you still have like another 10 minutes until it reaches you, since these maps are the size of fucking planets. Then you make it to the circle and start looting again. These matches can take upwards of 30 goddamn minutes, 25 of which is you running toward the circle, entering a building, inspecting the ground like you're looking for fucking bed mites, and rarely, very rarely, actually getting into a fight. The actual fun part of the game happens in the final 5 fucking minutes. When there's only 10 to 15 people left, that's when shit gets intense with everybody in a close space battling it out. And sure, I agree, it's fun. Hell, the final circle in this game is probably more fun than a lot of other Battle Royales, and it has some pretty satisfying gunplay, but let's not ignore the half an hour of running I did just to get to this point. So some of you may say then, well, if you want some action, just hot drop. And you're right, if you hot drop, you will get into some fights in the beginning of the match, but it's only in the beginning of the match, because if you survive, you'll once again be running towards the circle for 15 fucking centuries with no action in sight. The ending of the match is not good enough to make up for the half an hour it took to get there. Mid-game desperately needs some more action, which can easily be done. You don't even need to create a new map, just literally add like 50 more players into the lobby, and boom, problem solved. But nah, they're not gonna do that. In fact, they're probably never gonna fix this game's problems. Even some of the more glaring issues like all the hackers and netcode problems, because instead they just want to focus on this. Yes, in an attempt to squeeze as much money as humanly possible out of PUBG, they added some of the worst cosmetics to the game that I have ever seen. Not only the clothing, but the emotes as well. I never thought I'd find something more cringy than Fortnite emotes. But if there's one thing that weird-ass dancing makes me want to do, it's gamble my money away. So let's do that by opening up some loot boxes. That's not the right currency. Yes, like every other cash grab, we have multiple currencies, with this one being paid for. No thank you, I have never bought a loot box in my life, and I don't plan on breaking that streak on this garbage. So let's use the next currency type. Battle points, which you get for free by playing the game. Now where you spend that currency is anyone's guess. I flicked around these pages for like 5 minutes, and I could not for the life of me find where you spend them. And frankly, I don't care enough to look for it. What am I missing out on? This? This shit? I've seen Kang dress better than them, and he dresses like he's from the year 2003. Alright, so let's go back to the actual gameplay, and if you were paying attention for the first half of the video, you know that my biggest gripe with the gameplay is the fact that you're running around looking for the action for 3/4 of it. Well, Bluehole has a very simple solution for me. Team Deathmatch. This game mode is absolute garbage. So if you move over to the other sections in the menu, you'll see 3 game mode slots. Team Deathmatch and... Nice, this game is 5 years old and it hasn't been completed. While you may think that I love this game mode, with it being 2 teams of 8 battling it out on a small section of the map with constant action, like I said before, I don't like it. The problem mainly stems down to the maps and how they really do not work for this game mode. There are 8 maps here in total, and out of all of them, the only one that I really liked was Paradise Resort. The rest just aren't that good. Most are way too big and it takes way too long to get into the action, just like the other mode, leading to most fights being boring ass long-range sniper battles. And if you want an example of a map that's unnecessarily big, just look at this. It looks like a normal size map, right? That is until you realize that this town is the size of fucking New York City and it takes like a decade to run through it. And if that wasn't enough, they have a whole ass section on the side of the map with a fucking hill. Who needs all of this space in an 8v8? Literally, all you had to do that would have made this map 100 times better was have this nightclub in the middle and a few buildings surrounding it. But instead, they made a village big enough to hold a population of 1,000 people. I mean, you know it's bad when at the beginning of the match, the lobby looks like this, and 20 minutes later, cause that's how fucking long a TDM match takes in PUBG, the lobby looks like Thanos snapped his fingers. So we have another slow, boring failure of a mode. We're 2 for 2, so let's move on to the custom lobby and see what it has to offer. We have Zombies mode. This could take a while. Okay, then we have a mode called War. I can't join any of these lobbies. Alright, War Conquest, that should be fun. Okay, custom mode is dead. So go back to default Battle Royale mode, and while we're at it, grab yourself a couple energy drinks. You're gonna need it to keep yourself awake, even your character uses it. One thing that I really like about PUBG is said healing system. With bandages and medkits not being able to heal you past 75 health, so you have to use energy drinks, for some reason, pain pills, and adrenaline shots. It works well along with the armor system, although one thing that I absolutely despise is that if you have level 1 armor and go up against somebody with level 3 armor, you will lose that fight nearly 100% of the time. I don't like the luck factor at all, and it sort of ruins the otherwise great skill gap. But every Battle Royale has a luck factor, so it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. But aside from the luck, this is the most bare bones Battle Royale on the market, and while that might sound like a bad thing, it's actually a good thing, because if you're tired of building in Fortnite, or abilities in Apex, or the Gulag in Warzone, then you can hop on here for a pure Battle Royale experience. Winning and losing in this game entirely depends on how good your aim is, which is something that I really like. And the gunplay does feel great in this game, even on console, which is what I played on. I know, laugh, but I did it to stay away from hackers since the PC version is plagued with them, although I still ran into a few. As I mentioned before, the base gunplay is satisfying as hell, especially getting snipes off, but there is just so much problems holding this game back, like the extremely slow pacing, or the lack of polish, or the clunky feeling to it all. Maybe they'll improve upon these aspects once the game finally becomes free. I guess we'll just have to wait to find out. They didn't do anything. The big update is finally here, and PUBG is now free to play. And it's the same thing. I was hoping for some big sweeping changes to try to throw the game back into the spotlight, but instead, they added a drone and an EMT bag, which is fine. They also added pinging, great job, only 3 years late to that one, and an improved tutorial mode. And what they mean by this is you're not forced to play a boring ass tutorial for like a fucking hour. Go through training, that's fine. But 10 bot matches, now you're taking it too far. I didn't even do the bot matches, I just used a loophole of joining another person's lobby and then playing casual with them, I don't care. So yeah, pretty disappointing update overall, and the game still feels just as slow, outdated, and clunky as ever. Bluehole really needs to get their shit together, because PUBG going free to play is their absolute final shot at saving this game. They've got a great chance at making a comeback here. All they need to do is stop being greedy, stop focusing on mobile for 2 milliseconds, optimize the game, give us an anti-cheat, give us some more frequent and good updates, make the gameplay smoother, because third person especially is as clunky as it gets. Maybe give us the option to play with 150 player lobbies so we could get some more entertaining and intense gameplay. And most importantly, stop being arrogant assholes that listen to nobody but themselves and actually listen to your fucking community of dedicated fans. You fucking... And boom, you could potentially reclaim your throne. Will it happen? I highly doubt it, but one can hope.
Did you hear that? Someone else is here. There was another player right down the hall. It's a good thing I got my $20 Fortnite skin.
Wait, I won?